Spirit Forest Cubs. It's been a while since we did one of these videos, but I thought our time was due. Today we're going to be talking about my experience climbing a 14,000-foot mountain. When we got to Spirit Forest, there were rat poop and pee everywhere, so we ended up sleeping in the car and weren't able to get that much sleep. But we did end up leaving at 4:30 a.m. to head to the trail. When we got to the trailhead, I want to tell you all the stuff that I brought with me. I was wearing a fleece jacket and a raincoat, and I was wearing pants as well. Then in my backpack I had gloves, a headlight, a hat, and water. And there are lots of people there, so I didn't feel the need to bring all of my survival gear there. The mountain that I climbed was called Quandary Peak. The information about the mountain is here, down below. When we started going, it was really dark, so I had to use my headlight. It was really cold, so I had to have lots of layers on. It was also uphill just to start with, and I didn't have to use my headlight that much because it got more bright as we went along, and it got bright really fast, so I only had to use it in the beginning. I left so early because we wanted to make sure that we didn't have any afternoon storms when we were summiting, because then we would be inside of where the storm would be, and that would not be good. It takes about 3 to 4 hours for us to get to the top, and about halfway through we were in the rocks, and as we went more and more into the rocks, I got more and more tired. Right before we went into the rocks, the view was very pretty. We went and we had a water break, and we could see all the way down, and we could see a pond and then a river flowing out. So it was really pretty. So when we were climbing the mountain, we passed the timberline, which was when it was no longer in trees and it was basically just rocks straight all the way to the top. And when you have rocks, it's not very clear where the trail is. You kind of have to guess. And one time we were just following the person in front of us, and he went the wrong way, so we went the wrong way as well, and we ended up having to be kind of on all fours climbing up. We didn't realize that we went the wrong way until we were standing back on the trail, and someone told us, "You went the wrong way." So it was very hard going up it because you weren't really sure where the trail was and you'd forget where it was. But eventually we did make it to the top, because we did have to take several breaks at that final way up because it was so steep and rocky. When we got to the top, it was very pretty and it was a really nice view. Now the interesting thing was we had cell coverage when we were at the top of the mountain, so we were able to FaceTime Mommy even though she wasn't able to go on the hike with us, and we got to show her the view from the top of the mountain. And you could see all of the people behind you still climbing up. It was really pretty. And then you felt like you were on top of the world. Eventually we did end up going back down, so on our way down in the rocks, the rocks would just be slipping under your feet, and it was very hard to go down it. And right when we left, everybody left right behind us, and so sometimes we'd have to step off to the side so they can pass us on their way down. And then once we got out of the rocks, we were in the timberline again, and every time we would pass a corner, it felt like we were going to end. You're like, "Oh, I remember that. We're almost there." But you weren't ever actually at the end. I did make up something called the false end, because we saw something shiny, so I thought it was a car, and it was a kind of a plain area. And when we got down there, it was actually just a fork in the road, and the thing shiny was a sign telling you to not go on one of the trails and go on the other one. So, weren't exactly at the end yet. So we kept on going down and thinking we were done, and then we're done, and then we're done. And finally, we did end up finishing, and we saw all the cars. So, when we were done, my feet were so sore, we just went into the car. And then we placed down all our stuff, and I took off my shoes and got comfy. Afterwards, we went to Tommyknockers and to celebrate, and I got a root beer. And I'm really happy that I went. I wasn't that sure if I was gonna go at the beginning, but Mama convinced me, and I went. Thanks for watching and hearing my story. See you in another video. I thought you'd like a video.
What about no robots? No robot talking.
I can do it, Mommy.
Yep, you can.
Today we're going to be talking about my experience climbing a 14-foot mountain.
14 feet? Wow, that must have been a really hard mountain.
Hard. Sorry if there are any noises. We are building a cabin, so do I sound like a robot?
Yeah, just talk like normal. Why can't you just talk like normal? Talk like you normally talk, Kaila. You can do it.
Okay.